Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. I think I'm just going to be looking it up while I recap what was on the last Let's Play. We were in the mines, and we made it out of the mines, just barely, somehow. You know, there was the crystal caverns, but somehow getting up was not as perilous as I thought it was. So I got out, went to Williams to warn him, who was heavily drinking, and then warned him about, hey, the National Guard's coming. Be careful. And stuff. And please protect everyone we love. Also, yeah, it's $3 a month. So, let's reset our face. And continue. Outside, it's quiet in a way that only comes with the early morning, before the rest of the world stirs. I always love those mornings. And sorry to immediately make a sidetrack. Some of my favorite times when I wake up would be at my grandma's before most people wake up, get a cup of coffee, get the newspaper from the front door, and even though it's summer, it's nice and cool in England. At least 10, 20 years ago. Birds are chirping, and a pair of tumbleweeds passes us by on their way to work. William is hosing off Nick to get the grime and dirt off him while he still wears his jeans. So, like, is somebody pumping a pump while holding the hose or something? Where to first, boys? I had to go with the hip. William gives me a strange look, almost like he's wary. Need to pack up my things. Talk to the madame. It was brief, but he never made the face like that before I told him I was going to the hip. I wonder why he did that. Nick shakes off the water from his fur with a tremendous shake. I'm finished now, so you don't have to wait. He jerks his head to the hose in Will's hands. We don't have time for a proper wash right now. Will sprays me with cold water from the hose. The fuck, William? You said you're going to the hip. Not looking like that, you ain't. Let's get you somewhat presentable. Hose water ain't proper wash. Now, I'm just dirty and wet. But your pants ain't caked in mud, which is a start. Why are our pants caked in mud? Oh, I guess we were near the water, I don't know. You won't get an attention from a single soul if they take one look at you and run away. He's right. But I still slapped the hose out of his stupid fucking paw. Temper, pussycat. Also, to date this, I guess today's the day where they're like, hey, we're separating from the person that I guess writes a whole bunch of this game because, I don't know, which is a bit unfortunate, you know? I don't know any of the details. I feel the hose water run down my back and the back side of my calf as it drips to the dirt road. But it's already getting hot, so it'll clear off me in no time. Whatever. Let's just go. God, one thing I really hate, wet clothes in a, southeastern climate. Like in East Texas, ugh. I'd rather be naked. I mean, I like being naked, but still. By the time I reach the hip, I'm damp. I'm damp, but not sopping wet. So I don't have to be afraid of making a mess on any of the rugs. Will and Nick stay back at the entrance. Y'all coming? I'm gonna reach out to Nick's people, while you settle things here. I think you can handle this on your own, considering it's your place. Trying to get rid of me already, William? You wish. He takes a look at his watch. We'll be back in an hour, on the dot. Hopefully. Nick lowers his voice as the two of them walk away, but I can still hear him. The shacks are the first place we should go. Then the press. When I open the front door, the noise of the Benton playing out and the rest of the crowd drowns out anything from the outside. I wonder if in these days they have those self-pianing pianos. I mean, they've got lights and microphones, so just saying. The bar isn't as crowded as the front of the saloon this early in the morning. I went to find Cynthia. Instead, I see an otter at the bar. I try and avoid eye contact, but it doesn't quite work. Hey, I know you! Yeah, in a different timeline, we tried to woo on a farm, and things went very poorly. No, I don't think you do. No? Yeah, I do. You're Mr. Ayers. You play cards with the Sheriff Adler, don't you? Something like that. Do we? Is that his excuse for coming here? You're the deputy, yeah? Deputy Todd Bronson, at your service. Eating pies. I hope I'm not making much trouble. You work here, right? I do errands here and there. Oh, that's great. I've been wanting to bartender the stock juice at the bar for breakfast. On the account, I don't drink tea, coffee, or alcohol. I mean, coffee? Not drinking alcohol? Cool. Not drinking tea or coffee? I should probably have orange juice today. Don't the general store have concentrate? Yeah, but the host said if I need anything from the bar, I shouldn't be afraid to ask for anything during my stay. Wait, you're lodging here? The otter looks a bit flustered. Only for a mite. My folks have leaky pipes, and my room got the worst of it. You think that wouldn't be a problem. I thought otters liked water. Well, you see, it ain't the water pipes, it's the sewage pipes. I'm sorry, but I can't help you now. Aw, shucks. Well, I'll be near the bar for most of my stay, so feel free to help me when it's most convenient. Sorry to interrupt, but have you seen a small fox-kit woman? Yeah, sometimes I mix up my words, but it works. I reckon she's still sweeping the upper halls. I slap on the back with the back of my hand, which makes him lurch forward. Thanks. His voice goes squeaky. I make a sharp turn towards the stairs leading up to the second story of the saloon, somewhat distracted by how pitiful the deputy came across. It's no wonder William is reluctant to leave if that's the guy he's leaving in charge. But I can't help but shake how odd it is that a man who doesn't drink coffee, alcohol, or tea would want to be at a bar for the majority of his stay. Is Todd gonna be is he the ancestor of Chase and the other otter that died at the lake? Died, in quotation marks. And I guess the guy that ran over a certain person. Considering if you watched the last two videos. Especially considering all of the other things we have to offer. At the top of the stairs, I'm happy to see that the otter steered me right. Cynthia is there, sweeping in the strides, singing to herself, only coming to a stop as I approach. She stops in place, seeing me. She looks at my dirty clothes. I know she wants to ask what happened to me, but I can recognize by her face how much restraint she's practicing. Oh, Cynthia. So, she treats this exchange we're about to have just like any other day. Top of the morning, Sam. You're up early. Too early. She nods. Yeah, I don't think we slept all that night. Nope. We should probably get some coffee. Cynthia. She holds the broom, ringing it gently, waiting for the next few words I have to say. I have to go. She nods a few times, smiling. Ain't that everybody's line around here? Is she meaning, like, to not be a prostitute anymore? She gives me a sad smile. I'm sure that's gonna be my line too, sooner or later. She laughs a little to fill the silence. It is unkind for me to say that it felt like you already left a little while ago. A little while ago? I feel my lips dry. No. Not unkind at all. She just laughs. You look like you've been through hell, Samuel Ayers. She looks... Even though this is her putting on front, it does seem... Though maybe it's the music. I don't know. She keeps laughing. I start to laugh too. My clothes are filthy. I smell. I'm darkening the doorway of a flower in the desert. I don't know if I ever left, but I want to find my way out, Cynthia. She nods. Okay, Samuel Hours. She lets go of the broom with one of her hands and leans against the railing. And if I do, why don't you come follow me? And what about Ethel, Sam? What about Ethel? Who's Ethel? Is she the mistress? She tuts. No. Let me finish. And what about Lucy and Scarlett? And the Madame? Okay, I don't know most people. And the other girls before them. She wipes her brown eyes. Shit. I'm not going to do this every time. She shakes her head. You know my address. You know my telegraph. Write me, or don't. Cynthia. She hands me the broom. I take it and stare at her. I need you to get out of town. If only for a few days. For the first time, she looks at me. I can see fear. What happened? We think there's going to be something bad. Like, here's the thing. I know that they know about, the National Guard coming, but I really don't feel like the National Guard would really torch down this place unless it becomes an actual war zone for some reason. And maybe the National Guard pillages this place? I don't know. I don't know the other town. But I'm wondering if he's also meaning about the horrible things that happen in Echo every 100 years? Worse than anything that's ever happened here before. And we don't think there's anything we can do to stop it. Sam? What are you talking about? The National Guard is coming to the mines. A horrible understanding spreads across her face. The strike. She rushes to her room, leaving her door ajar. Oh. Nice place. She pulls a bag from the closet and starts stuffing it with dresses and stockings of various personal belongings. If you pack only what you need for a few days, that might be all the time you need to spend away from here. I mean, if you're looking to come back. By when will we need to get a ticket? My plans leave before the afternoon. She lets out a sudden cry that almost sounds like her lungs are collapsing. Oh, Sam. What? She's looking out of her window. She's pointing. She sees miners running in the direction of the quarry. I just hope it's not too late to get out. Unfair. It is an Albion word. Composed of the suffix "un", which demarcates nullification, and fair, a root which traditionally stems from meaning of pleasant and beautiful. Huh. Oh yeah, I guess fair would be right. In this case, fair demarcates justice. God, I feel like a kid sometimes. This is because words in Albion can sound the same and be spelled the same, but have many different meanings. Like lead and lead. And lead. It is also because Albion is a language of context. What matters in this language is not how something is said or how something is spelled that matters. Its placement in a series of other words contribute to its text. However, fuck, the letters U and W. Not only are they uncommon letters, which makes them a bitch to find the correct slates for, but a W does not look like two U's, it looks like two V's. This is because neither U nor W, now I get it, used to exist in the classical and dead language that Albion and its many other Romance languages derive themselves from. Both U and W used to be replaced one V and two V's respectively, in spite of the very fact that all three of these letters make drastically different phonemes? Fuck, I don't know. I'm trying. It's hard enough to read. Unfair wages is a phrase that has both U and W, which makes me an unlucky bastard doubly so, in part because they are uncommon and because they are not placed in the key boxes they are labeled to be in. Here's the W. And it's perhaps wrong to be grateful for the other man's injury. But if his foot were not crushed, I would never have found this fucking W. Thank you. Ah, Cheng. That's him. I was like, who are we being right now? What would I do with myself if I didn't have menial tasks to solve? Enjoy life, perhaps? There's no enjoy in life without purpose, my friend. It do be like that. A hobby, then? Now, why would I contrive work for myself when there's always work to be done? Because for most people, work is considered tedious. I gesture to the plate that I'm putting together with my feet. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he has one good hand, and fingers on the other hand. The pain in my hand is always there, but I can ignore it when I don't have to use it. Make sure you wrap the plates in at least 10 rotations, or the letters will unravel. I don't know exactly how that works. I remember a game where you do that. I stop wrapping the plates with my foot's paw and to stare at him. Are you going to lead the spare foot to help me then? Lend a spare foot. Sure would if it wasn't broken. You see bears? We are more dexterous than you think. It's brazen at best to brag about dexterity to a sable. I do not boast about what I can't back up. Just be careful about what you put into the Patlin press? Patlin press? The Sin Valley Tribune will make us pay if we break it. I practice wrapping up the plates as tightly as I can. It's pointless to tie the frame together without the photo engraving delivered yet. The fox is taking too long. William? No, not William. Murdoch. Why don't they let us rent cylinder press? It's a pointless question to ask. I already know why. Larger cities are lucky to have cylinder press, which can print hundreds of thousands of papers a night at a time. The Sin Valley Tribune is unusual to have a cylinder press in practice for a city this small. I guess they have one where it's like a flat press instead of a cylinder press. You know, where it like prints it, inks it, prints it, inks it. But this one is just a single slab. They don't just deliver to Echo. The trains deliver to Camp Rosa, to Peyton, to Mesa. But people like Gretchen Brines, James Hendricks, Porter Moore, and Dora Sorzano can establish such resources with shocking ease. I don't like admitting such praise for a man who had part in ruining my body, but his purchasing power is real. Hey, Chang? The Wolverine yells from across the press warehouse, rather than walking up to me, disturbing the other workers. You said you're waiting for the Red Fox, right? Irritation melts away as relief washes over me. I sit up and point at the construction of type on the floor of Tina Dimitri. Watch this for me, please. I'm not going anywhere. Was it this one or a different one where I was doing all the things? You know, voice acting stuff. Paul grabs my shoulder before I can walk out the door. Be careful with that one. He comes for money. Seems shifty too, because he's a fox. I shrug him off. Ask before you touch me. Oh yeah, I wish people would fucking do that sometimes. I hate it when people touch me, especially out of nowhere. I hear him mutter, "Your Majesty," before he sulks away. I look outside. Another new picture. He's waiting in an area that I told him to wait, behind the sign of the press. Sorry I'm late. Better late than never? He plucks a metal box out of his sack and hands it to me. I had to remix a few materials to make sure the photo engraving was accurate as he wanted. I wonder how that would work. Would it be chemical, or do you actually have to engrave it into like a thing? Like by hand? I practically became a professional at engraving after spending so much time on this kind of wedding invitations my sister wanted. Will it look just like them? Just like their pictures, yeah. I pull out the paper bag from my coat and hand it over to him. 20 ounces, like we agreed. Wah. Murdoch. I don't know what I'd do without you. He gives me a nod and a smile. Now, granted, it could just be cannabis, right? Somehow, he knows not to try and touch me. And he knows not to try and shake my good hand. Or not to, or try to. Yeah. He's the kind of person who knows his things without being told. This is why Paul knows he might be dangerous. You know, the wood block would have been a lot cheaper to make. I know plenty of good wood whittlers who could have just whipped you up a decent likeness of both your bosses. No wood blocks. All likenesses. A likeness isn't good enough. They need to see their real faces. How lucky for you? Wait, how lucky for you then? That's as real as you're gonna get. A clean transaction, as always, Mr. Briars. He salutes me with two of his fingers and whistles on his way. They usually start cordial, until they start to use too much. That's only about half of them, though. The feeling of a sharp scraping against my bones flares up again. It's the kind of pain that makes you kneel over and empty your stomach. I know, I'm out in the open and in the middle of the day, but it hurts so bad I don't even care. I need the pain to go away, because I have something to do. I get my pipe, my bag, my lighter. The needle is small. Nobody will see it. I put the flame to it until it bubbles. Then I snuff it through the hole and suck from the pipe. As I suck, I think of him. He would be yelling at me if he saw me now, but it takes the pain away. And when the pain is gone, I remember that there's a job to do. I smoke until it's all gone and the pipe is safe to put away. Then I go back inside the building. Paul and Dimitri are standing there, staring at my configuration of plates on the floor, like it's some kind of jigsaw puzzle, and I kneel in front of it. I told you we wouldn't be away for long, or he wouldn't be? Yeah, he wouldn't be. That felt pretty long to me. I need a break after the trade. My apologies. Did that pretty boy try to rip you off? Don't be ridiculous. It was a professional transaction. Pardon my hesticancy? Hesticancy then? I don't know what that is. I just know that it's like what it's like to be treated like trash by spoiled brats. If there was a problem, I would have let you know. Now pay attention. I bind the plates to the string in my foot, paws in 10 tight rotations. Bind the plates with the string in my foot paws in 10 tight rotations. I guess I can say that 10 times fast. He fit this cluster of blocks, which we are calling a frame, into the metal bed of the patent press. Auf new? It's unfair wages backwards. Ah, why is it backwards? Because it'd print the message on the paper backwards if it wasn't. I pre-measured the frame to fit correctly into the block, slipping it into the metal bed that holds it. Now feed the red ink into the rollers over here with a spatula. Then feed the paper into the paper holder. Get somebody who has a strong foot to step on it like it's a loom, and it'll spin out the flyers. And demonstrate, considering it'd be cruel to ask this of Dmitri. I produce dozens of papers in the span of a few seconds. Paul plucks one out of the feeder and sees the faces of the bosses in what might be one of the most accurate replications of a face I've seen on paper. Suddenly, there's a crash in the window. Then a scream. Somebody's on the floor, bleeding. Another crash. Another window. It's a firebomb. Who the hell is attacking a damn press? It's happened before. They burnt the Daily Barns to the ground just a few months ago. But everybody knows that was Hendrix's people after they editorialized those rumors about his grandfather. This is the big one. Hendrix funds it himself. Paul takes a pistol out of his holster beneath his shirt. He peeks out the door. Then he opens it and fires a few shots. We hear glass breaking and can smell burning rubber as it speeds away. Dmitri is preoccupied putting out the firebomb by smothering it with a wet curtain he ripped off the wall. The two of the press runners, Lisa Songstad and Freddie Maynard, help put out the fires with dirt. Those are Briggs's people. You sure about that? I've seen that automobile before. I see several of the union workers, among them being Harvey Fleming, Quinn Xing Lang, Daniel Garcia, and Finley Blair chase after the quarry, signs in hand. Wait. If they wanted to burn down the press, they wouldn't wait until everybody was sleeping? They weren't really after the press, were they? But they got everybody riled up again. Why would they do this if we're close to cutting a deal? Because they never wanted to cut a damn deal. I know that, Paul. They never want to cut a deal. The idea is to give them no alternatives. Until now, they had none. So, what the hell changed? I don't know. The only thing that could make them bolder is some kind of outside support. Guess these guys don't know about the National Guard, but I guess they don't. Sounds like they finally got the feds roped in. Dmitri doesn't answer. We know they're willing to do it. They've done it before. Mowed down all sorts of good men because they couldn't go on without their coal and their luxuries. They measure our lives by the train loads, Dmitri. I know, Paul. They aren't ever going to stop. And we aren't going to win if we make turn this into a battle force. That does seem like a typo there. Don't you want to win? Depends. What's winning to you? A better life for living with no bloodshed. We lose that if we let this develop into blunt warfare. So, let's not make this into a battle force then. Let's give Briggs consequences for his actions for once. Thank you. I just said I don't want anybody going to war. War is already here. He's right. He's emotional. We're all emotional. We just got attacked. All I'm doing right now is thinking. If Briggs, or somebody working for him, wants us to go to the quarry, then I think it should be a good idea right now to go somewhere else. I'll take any plan to fight back at this point. Are we gonna set fire to Hendrix's house? Maybe. I'm with you, little man. I know how this must sound, but thinking and acting is absolutely what we should not do right now. I don't know, I think we should be thinking. Perhaps he wants us all at the quarry. Perhaps he's looking for an excuse to do something worse. Any misstep we make could get our friends killed. A gunshot wound is quick, sudden, and, more often than not, lethal. It doesn't take very much at all to kill a person. Then it's best we don't get caught. Are you coming? Where are you going? Can't say if you don't agree to come. Then no. I suck on my teeth and put my hand through my pockets. That decision doesn't deserve my response. And with that, I think we're gonna call it. Bam! So, end of this Let's Play. Bugger, I was gonna be like, and we're only gonna do one of these so that I can, play other games, because right now I have, 44 The Smoke Rooms and 14 for an episode of some other game that isn't a visual novel, and I'm like, I want to do more of this, but I need to do more of other games, So, end of this one. Please comment, because I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, or otherwise, if you like made you and would like to see grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos epic. And please don't spay your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, then it's free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game, and I get the news version earlier, then you can go on the Patreon, which is $5, $3 a month for this and other games. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. This is Spanier Animals. I just did. So thanks and see ya.